as always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
I've got a group of winners. Baseball series win over UCF. They swept the doubleheader on Saturday. They've got one more today on Sunday, but they already won the series. Softball sweeps the doubleheader against Iowa State. So they got back on the winning train, and they play another one on Sunday as well. But that's two series wins there. You had the women's hoops one. I think what they beat TCU, and now they're into the semifinals, and I think that game is on Monday. So pretty good stuff on the winning train with women's hoops, softball. Put the loss behind them, and baseball's off to a strong start.
Love it. I love how you're starting to be like me and just work multiple in. Love that about you. I
I think we're in a good spot, though. We're
I,
in a
I
good spot.
watched, yeah, I watched quite a bit of the softball. Sydney Sanders, have yourself a weekend. My goodness.
No kidding.
Just hey, you know what makes winning easier? If you just blast home runs. It makes
Keep hitting the
everything
ball out of the
so
park.
if you just hit it over the fence, it just makes everything so much easier. She was fantastic for them. So that
Yeah.
I mean, clearly the doubleheader, you look at what the first win was 4-0, second win was 11-2. I mean, she was huge in those two wins for them. And I thought I thought Kelly Maxwell looked maybe as good as she's looked so far in an OU uniform in that first
Mhm.
game.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think after the streak ending, I think the pressure's off. I mean, there's a lot of new players on the roster and on the team, and they've stepped into that pressure packed situation. And I think now that the loss is over, I think there's a little more comfort in getting up there and just playing the game and winning the game instead of trying to continue the big streak. So I think you're going to continue to see different players settle into a little bit better of a groove.
I thought, and the Sooners are already up 3-0. Sooner softball already up 3-0 in the bottom of the second against Iowa State right now as we record. But I kind of like Patty Gasso's tone after the doubleheader. Got very positive, very complimentary. Like that's what we are as a team type of stuff. I just she's so good at that stuff, man. It's like she's been doing it at the highest level
Yeah.
for a very, very long time. It's like she knows what she's doing, but I don't know, just her presence after the game. I just feel like she knows exactly how to handle every situation as a coach.
Hmm.
And some coaches just don't have it. And she's got it, man. I just love how much awareness she seems to have for exactly what she needs to say about her team in nearly every moment. I don't know. It's so impressive to me.
Nope, that's right. That's exactly right. They're in a good spot. I know there was the panic button for some folks, but they're gonna work themselves into a really good position. They'll be just fine. Women's hoops is in a good spot. They are on an absolute tear right now. Maybe they'll get recognized if they've won the Big 12 twice in a row. I wonder if they win the Big 12 tourney, they'll actually be rewarded with a decent seed in the tournament. But that's all good to see right now for the Sooners.
I love it. Who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
It's OU men's hoops, but it's you know everything's not horrible. Okay, I hated to see Suarez, roll
That
the ankle again.
was horrible
Yeah,
to have. What would you call it? The key to the team? The guy who's been your best
he's
player
been great.
in
He's
conference
been great.
play and has battled. And to his credit, I don't think he was close to 100%. And he was playing through the pain. And for him to do that in garbage time, I was viewing it as garbage time at that point. That that hurts, man. That really, really hurts.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked that, kind of given the situation of the game, that I was kind of surprised even that McCollum played. I wasn't sure how that was, and even Dessou for Texas. I wasn't sure because kind of where everyone stood. It almost felt like you're into the tourney. Not going to be a whole lot of difference in seeding for the Big 12 tournament. So maybe some guys were going to rest, but that wasn't the case. I don't know. Texas played a great game. I mean, they were dialed. So I don't know. I still feel fine. I think we're going to be fine once we get to the postseason. What we play TCU in the first round of the Big 12 tourney. Texas plays Kansas State. TCU's been solid this year, but I think we can win that game.
Yeah, that'll be on Wednesday. So
see what we get from Suarez, though. I mean, that's
the problem, man, is it did not look good. When he wasn't putting any pressure on that ankle to get off the floor with where that Gabe was at. And what was it? I don't know, maybe an 11 or 13-point game at that point, but it felt over to me. And I saw him go down and I uttered not appropriate language.
Well, once you've rolled your ankle, the second one, it hurts way worse, but you recover from it way quicker. So that's my hope.
Dr. Ted, ladies and gentlemen,
that's my view from afar. It's an optimistic view from afar, though.
It is.
Because if we don't have him, and that's a totally different scenario for our basketball team.
You are correct, sir. So we'll see how it goes in the Big 12 tournament for the Sooners, but I don't share the same optimism that you share. I'm just going to be honest with you, but we'll see. We'll see. We're hoping for the best. I do think they've done enough to be in the NCAA tournament, but you just
making it really hard, right?
You just hate to limp in, literally and figuratively, into the tournament by getting smacked by your rival on the road, and then hopefully they get this first one against TCU. We'll see though, but there's only a couple minutes left, and he rolled it again. Oh, brutal. All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first, attention, business owners, you need Insurica in your life. Insurica is one of the country's largest insurance brokers with 30 offices throughout Oklahoma, Texas, and the Southwest. Insurica is able to customize programs by accessing the latest information from many insurance carriers. They compare and contrast coverage offerings and pricing in order to design a cost-effective, comprehensive program to meet your business's specific needs. If your business partners with Insurica, you'll save huge amounts of money and take back control of your total cost of risk. If your business wants to be best in class, connect with Insurica at insurica.com. That's INSURICA.com.
And head to opolisclothing.com for our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's OPOLIS clothing.com. Use promo code TED, TED, for 10% off. That's opolisclothing.com. Use promo code TED for 10% off. Buttery soft and 10% off.
For my winner of the weekend, thought about going with Chris Jones.
Woo.
They paid that man. Chiefs paid that man, Ted. Now, 5-year deal. I'm not sure what the total number is, but everything I saw that was reported is the first 3 years are all guaranteed, and he's going to get $95 million in those first 3 years. He deserves it. That man is an absolute problem. He is a game wrecker at that defensive tackle position. So got a bunch of Super Bowl rings, and now he got his big payday. Congratulations, Chris Jones. You deserve it. You give me anxiety as I watch. I'm watching the center and guards. I'm just no. But just a hell of a football player, and is getting rewarded for what he's done for that franchise.
Yeah, no, he's a stud, and getting him locked up. They're in a good spot. They've got a lot of their best players locked up in some good spots. They need to have a big draft, and I guess did you see that Mahomes was texting Worthy?
Yeah,
that'd be a nice fit for them.
Oh man, just what they need, more weapons. There's it's no secret they could use a wide receiver or two. So we'll see. But paying Chris Jones is that the smart decision. Now, my winner of the weekend, the Oklahoma City Thunder. And for a lot of reasons. First of all, Friday night, Thunder beat the Miami Heat 107-100. Really good basketball game. Heat were really good in the first half. Threw all kinds of defensive looks at the Thunder. Thunder kind of had to process all that. Then they outplayed the Heat in the second half, but in true zombie Heat fashion, they just would not die at the end of the game and it kept it close. But Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, man, just some massive shots late. And
That
the Thunder,
step back was beautiful.
oh my gosh. He
Just so effortless.
ice water, baby. Ice water in that man's veins. And when you look at the game, the Thunder didn't shoot it particularly well, but had another good win against another good team. And all of a sudden, you look at it, Josh Giddey's put together a string of good games in the last week. Jalen Williams is back, and I thought he not J Dub, but J Will.
Mm-hmm.
J Will was back off the injury and gave him good energy. I thought that he did some nice things. J Dub continues to be just an absolute stud, but SGA had 37 in that game and has now scored 30 or more in 47 games this season.
It's crazy.
I don't
Crazy.
think he's ever going to be a guy that goes for 70, like a Luka Doncic and like that type of stuff. But the consistency that he's playing with, dude, it's awesome to watch as a Thunder fan, and it's impressive as hell. The guy, he has been awesome. It kind of feels like Jokic is starting to take a hold of the MVP race, but SGA is right there with him, man. She's just been so good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that there's maybe a little bit of Jokic fatigue there from some people. I don't know, but he's incredibly impressive. Hopefully he gets that done. I think that we know who they are at this point. It's just how does that translate to postseason basketball? I mean, that to me, that's kind of the next question with this group. And I don't know, really fun to watch though.
That game. So there's a couple factors here, but I think after they won that game is the first time where, if I'm being honest, I've really felt like they can be the number one seed in the West. Because, and we're recording this before they play the Grizzlies, and I expect them to win that game. So that will take them to 45-19, which, by the way, means they will hit the over-under win total with 18 games to go in the season. Pretty
nice.
Pretty impressive. But there was kind of this 4-horse race, right, for the 1 seed with the Clippers, with Minnesota, and then with Denver. And maybe Denver finishes the season really, really strong and they end up being the 1 seed. But the news that Karl Anthony Towns is going to miss some significant time with the meniscus injury, that's a big blow for Minnesota. And you have to assume they'll lose a few more games than they would have with him out. So I think this is the first time where I've looked at everything and gone, you know what? The Thunder can be the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. And they've won 8 straight home games. They're tied with Denver for the best home record. All of a sudden, you look at it, and not only do I think they can be it, the guys in that locker room have to be looking at it and going, hey, we're really good at home, and we can get this number 1 seed. And you got to be smart about it, but they may push hard for that number 1 seed.
Where are the Lakers?
Fair point. The Lakers currently are the 9. So they're going to be in one of the play-in games. So they are, yes, I understand what you're saying. So remember the way that the play, the first 6 are in, and then you've got the play-in games. So currently, yes, the Lakers are in play to be what eventually would be the 8 seed to take on the 1 seed. Are you
Yeah.
suggesting that some maneuvering could be discussed to avoid the only team that has won a season series against the Oklahoma City Thunder this year?
While I think it would be awesome, both mentally for the team, confidence wise, something to hang your hat on, and would help you throughout the playoffs, clearly, being the 1 seed. I may do some dodging of the Los Angeles Lakers if possible.
Things have not gone well in the last 3 against the Lakers.
No.
The size and strength has been an issue. So
Styles make fights, and that is not a good style matchup for us.
let Denver play the Lakers.
Yeah.
I'm fine
Yeah.
with that. Do we
I don't
sound
know.
scared of the Lakers? Do we sound scared of a team that is 35 and 30 and actually has a negative point differential? Are we being a little cowardly here? Because normally with OU football, we're like, bring it on. Give us all the. Why don't we do that with the Thunder, who are.
Well, here's the thing, because I don't think like the Lakers as a veteran team, we've seen this in recent years where care a lot less about the regular season, and when the postseason gets here, it's crank it up time. Like this is whenever we're actually dialed in. So I don't know how much of that is still the case with them. I mean, LeBron is still incredible, but how much longer can he continue to go into the like to be able to crank the level up? I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know. I'll defer to you. Is it better to have the 1 seed and play the Lakers, or is it better to dodge for to not have that matchup?
I think for the long term, it's better to have the 1 seed. I would rather see this team face the Lakers in the first round and see how they respond. Personally. Now,
Mm-hmm.
is that the best matchup? No. But I want to see how they react to it. Does that make sense? Like, I want to see the Lakers have to come to Oklahoma City, which, by the way, how much fun will that be if that's
Awesome.
the first round matchup with home court advantage? I mean, that's going to be so awesome if it happens. But I would just want to see how they respond to that situation. If this core group of Shea and Chet, and obviously throw J Dub in there and Dort and getting all these guys, right? Let's see what they're made of right out of the gate. That's
Yeah.
kind of my mentality on it.
I feel like the last time around when we had a championship window, I feel like the roles were reversed though. They just got into the playoffs and played the Lakers in the first round. Good Lakers, but took them like way further than anyone expected, right? Then next year they went to the Western Conference Finals. Then the year after that they went to the finals, right? And it feels like this team is ahead of that pace.
I I view a matchup in the first round with the Lakers as a win-win. If you beat them, I mean, you just beat LeBron James, Anthony Davis. You've got home court advantage. Like you're moving forward, you're feeling confident. And if you get beat, feeling a little embarrassed, a ton of motivation for the offseason. Hey, we're not going to let that
True.
happen again. You know what I'm saying? It feels like a
That's true.
win-win to me.
No, I like that. I like that.
But
I know that series though. as far as like that would be wild.
Yeah.
That's what you want for a
Sign
series.
sign me up. As a basketball
Absolutely.
fan, sign me up. I'm
Yeah.
all for it.
You get more buzz out of that one than any other matchup you see, regardless of who it is or where it is.
No doubt. My loser of the weekend, Kansas basketball. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. They have
Damn.
they have dominated the Big 12 conference. There is just no other way to say it. Man, they have absolutely dominated the Big 12 in hoops. Houston comes into the conference in their first year and wins the thing outright in the regular season by dismantling Kansas by 30.
I mean, just stomped them.
Oh, it was over early. And 76-46, hold them under 50 points. And there's no other way. Kansas went into Houston and got punched straight in the face. They got knocked out, and Houston just kept punching them in the face. That thing was over early. That thing was over at
Stop
halftime.
the fight.
Yeah, just like, oh, he's already dead. Stop the fight. Houston, they just locked them up completely. Kansas couldn't do anything offensively. And with the loss, I think Kansas actually ended up finishing sixth in the Big 12.
Ooh.
They've lost 3 of their last 4. I think they've lost 6 of 7, 6 of its last 7 on the road. Hunter Dickinson dislocated his shoulder in that game, in that beatdown. We'll see what his status is looking like over the next week or so. Kevin McCullough, who came back for the knee injury, I don't know why they played him in this game. He didn't look good at all. He didn't play in the second half at all. You look at it, man. If I was Bill Self, maybe you just punt on the Big 12 tournament and say, hey, let's try to get McCullough and Dickinson as much rest as possible for the NCAA tournament. But I think Lenardi's got him as a 4 seed right now. If they don't win a game in the Big 12 tournament, they're in jeopardy of maybe being a 5 seed. I don't know, man, but this is not what we've come to expect from Kansas basketball. And Houston came in the league year 1 and said, this is our league now, boys. I mean,
No doubt.
how
I feel
impressive is
like
that by Kelvin Sampson and that crew? My goodness.
that's crazy. And it's getting worse before it gets better. Arizona's joining. Uh, I I feel like Kansas is going to be the Mista Mista lady from Happy Gilmore. Get me out of here, wanting to go to the SEC or the Big Ten because, man, the Big 12 was brutal in hoops, and it's about to get worse. So
I can only imagine how sad it makes you, Ted, to watch Kansas basketball struggle like this.
I know it. I know it. I do actually, in a weird way, feel bad for them. Like,
What?
I guess maybe I feel bad for their fans. I don't know. Maybe I don't. It's just things are changing in a big way for the Big 12, and none of it feels good at the moment for Kansas, right?
Right.
Football wise, it feels pretty good. All right, they may have a better chance of winning the Big 12 in football next year than they do in basketball. When's the last time we've said that?
Wow. I hadn't thought of it that way, but you might be right, man. I don't think Kansas fans know how to even approach that. Wait, wait,
I know
wait.
football school.
Oh, I I'm happy for Kelvin Sampson to come into the best league in college basketball in year 1 when everyone's saying, okay, Houston, you're about to find out. You've been playing in the American, making your deep tournament runs. It's been cute, but you're about to find out. And they said, all right, let's do this. 15-3 in league play, number 1 team in the country. I think they've got the number 1 net rating at this point. 22 in a row at home for
I
Houston.
feel like didn't they lose their first Big 12 game too? And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, welcome to the league, boys.
Yeah. And it's just, it's really, really impressive what Kelvin Sampson's been able to do. And there's really no better way to put an exclamation point on a regular season than completely dominating the team that has absolutely dominated this league. So the way that they made Kansas look awful in that game. That was impressive stuff.
This, like, we are going to be Houston going to the SEC, and that's what we're going to do to Alabama
Yeah.
late in the season.
In softball. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, I'm not kidding. It's we're gonna smoke everyone in softball still, but the football, we ain't scared, baby. Let's go.
That's
Let's
right.
go.